Have y'all heard of the curse of the almost ready agent? That's the real estate pro who is fixing to do something, going to do something. They're going to get around to it. But nobody has an around to it, because you just never take action waiting on a perfect moment, waiting on the market to change, waiting on yourself to get more knowledgeable. Some might call it analysis paralysis or death by analysis. But whatever you call it, you're in your own way. So how do you get past being the almost ready agent? Well, here's step one. Get a little humility about yourself, friends. I've been in real estate 25 full-time years, and I do not know everything. In fact, every time one of my agents calls me, I brace myself thinking, oh Lord, what are we going to hear about today? Or I go to a listing appointment or go out with a buyer and I get to see something that makes me say, nope, never saw this before. Because that's one of the things we love about this business. It is different every day. We deal with different humans every day. Every house is different. That's why our business really can't be commoditized. It is different. And because it's different, you keep encountering different things. And so you have to have that sense of get to it. That's going to help you get through it. I think about the immortal words of Howard Brenton. God love him. He was one of the best instructors we ever had in organized real estate. And he's been gone from us for several years now. But Howard always said, get out of judgment and into curiosity. You won't be an almost ready agent if you're always curious and you say, well, I don't know, let's find out. Which means that step two in overcoming this curse is having that resource-rich environment around you. Your mentor, ideally your broker. Maybe it's your vendor list, the professionals that you trust when it comes to heating and air and water, plumbing, electrical, landscaping, pools, roads, driveways, you name it, you've probably got somebody on your list. When you encounter those strange scenarios, you say, well, I don't know, but let me ask. I've got a guy. In fact, I went by a truck on the interstate yesterday, and I think it was Got a Guy Plumbing or something similar, and I got so tickled because I've been telling people this for years. I don't know, but I got a guy. That's our job as professional realtors. If you let go of the fact that you don't have to know it all, then you can say yes to the fact that you do have the right people to reach out to. And then the bonus, your buyers and sellers don't have to get on next door to look for help, because we all know that is the level of hell that Dante never really envisioned. Now, the third secret to get over being the almost ready agent is the one you don't want to do. So just go ahead and get mad at me now. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make the first phone call. I compare this to running all the time, because as a medium-aged person who runs, I'm not going to win anything. If I do, it's my age group in a small race where nobody else is competing with me, because that's called cherry picking your opportunities. But in general, I don't run for medals. I run for me. I run so that I will feel better, so that I have some time to have good prayer talk with God. I run so I can eat foolish food later in the day, because, you know, I love my pound cake, and I can justify that if I have moved. And frankly, my whole body responds when I've had a chance to get active. And it's hard every single day. This is what most people don't tell you about running. They lace their shoes up and they say, oh, I just love to go. They're liars. They are liars, because that first mile is hard. Getting out of bed is really hard. Getting dressed is hard too. But getting started, nobody wants to. However, I know this. The first mile gets gone. And then the second mile, all right, my blood's moving. Third mile, I can do this. Fourth mile, I finally loosen up. That's the other secret to running. It takes mile 4 before you loosen up. And then my body can actually go much further, because as it turns out, my body was never the problem. It was me, my head. I have to get over that. That's the same thing in getting over your almost ready curse. You didn't call anybody because you were afraid of rejection. Well, if you call the first one, it's going to be hard. They don't want to talk to me. I don't have anything to say. The market's terrible. Whatever excuse you've given yourself, if you call them and say, hey, ringy-dingy, it's Leigh Brown with One Community, you know what they're going to say? If they answer, they're going to say, hey, what you doing? And then you have a conversation. That's your first mile. And then you say, well, that actually, okay, I survived it. Let me do mile 2. Then you call the second person. And it got even easier because the first call was done. And you realize people are actually nicer than you gave them credit for. Most people are not jerks. Most people are not going to cuss you out. So stop thinking about the negative people in the world. Don't let the negatives take you away from all the positive people who really appreciate your expertise. They like you enough to hear you out, and they might just turn into your best source of business. And then you'll realize you've overcome the curse of the almost ready agent, because now you're out there doing the things that make you successful for the people who appreciate you, building a business that you can love for a long time to come. Now, if this helped you, then give me a like, give me a subscribe over here. But most importantly, if you need something, type it in the comments. Send me a DM or give me a call, because I love nothing more than helping my fellow professionals get a little bit tougher.